What's going on, guys? Welcome back to my page. Got another quick video for you guys today. I'm not too sure how long this video is going to take, but the mission is to install these OLED lights to the steering wheel and to install my paddle shifters while I have the steering wheel off. So just hang tight and let's see if we can get it done before the sun goes down. It's a little late, but yeah, let's jump straight into it. So the first thing you want to do is disconnect your battery. It does have a heat shield on top of it. You just undo these clips and then this comes out. So after you remove the heat shield, you want to take off the cabin air filter and you want to set this to the side, and then you want to disconnect the battery. So just pull off the positive terminal cover and disconnect the battery. So now that the battery is disconnected, you want to give it a few seconds just for all the charge to leave the system. You want to verify that the horn isn't working. And now we have to remove the airbag. And to remove the airbag, you have two pressure points you need to press underneath the steering wheel. I'll show you better when the steering wheel is fully removed. So after you get the airbag out, just to show you how the airbag pins look, this is how it looks. It goes into the right side of the steering wheel. You would think that you would have to apply pressure to this side to take the airbag out, but it's actually two pins at the top. So you want to push down on this pin and you want to push down on this pin at the bottom, and that's what's holding it in. So you don't want to try to push on this side thinking that's how it'll come out. So I just used the pick like this to depress the lever, and then it came right out. So the next step is going to be to loosen the center bolt, which is a T55. It's very tight, so what you want to do is press up against the wheel with your knees like this as you're turning, and it'll break free. Okay, so I found something to mark the thread, so I put the steering wheel exactly where I took it from. If you can see those pink lines. Okay, so now that I have the steering wheel off, this is the hole I was talking about. That one right there, and that one right there. And it just depresses this spring, and that's what's holding in the airbags. Quick scenery change, guys. It's extremely cold outside, so let's jump straight into it. Now you want to undo these two screws at the back of the steering wheel to get to the wires. So these two small screws are a T20. So after you remove the two bolts at the back, there's four more T20 bolts that you need to undo to take the front plate off. Then you want to flip the wheel over, and now you have three more T20 bolts you want to take out. And you want to be very careful with these bolts that you don't strip them. There is also a ground wire that you want to disconnect. You just want to put in a flathead screwdriver and slide it off. Once that's out the way, the center bracket comes straight out. Now we want to work on removing this molding right here. After you remove the centerpiece, there will be two exposed screws underneath the centerpiece, and they will be right here. You just remove, they're also T20s. You remove this one on this side, and you remove that one on this side, and then the molding just pops straight out. Now we have to install the buttons and work on the wiring. So like I said, after you remove these two bolts that's holding in, the whole housing comes out, and then you just install the buttons. It's pretty self-explanatory once you get the buttons in. They can only go one way, so you can only put the buttons in one way. Then you just put in screws on each side, and you do have to shave down a piece of the plastic on both sides to make the buttons fit. So now that we got the buttons installed, now we got to deal with the wiring. I do believe the wiring goes to this right here, but yeah, let's try to figure this out. Okay guys, so I was finally able to get the wires wired to the connection. So I had to break this pin and insert them into the wiring harness. So this is the best way I can explain it. So this is the top of the pin, and then this is the bottom of the pin, and it is numbered 1 through 6. So to recap, this is the top of the wire. This wire right here goes to 1 down here. This wire right here, 2, goes to 4, goes to 4 over here. The only one that's the same is 1 and 3. 1 goes to the first wire, 1 goes to the first wire, 3 goes to the third wire, and then you swap 4 and 2. They're swapped. Hope that makes sense. Okay, so now that we got the steering wheel back together, let's go ahead and install it on the car. Buttons installed, wiring done, everything taped up. Yeah, let's just go ahead and throw it back on the car. So now let's go ahead and throw the steering wheel back on. You want to make sure that the lines are lined up so that your steering wheel isn't crooked when you install it. And all in all, you just want to do the same process of taking it off, but just in reverse. So now you want to reinstall the airbag, and while you're reinstalling the airbag, you want to make sure that all of these ground wires are still connected. Then you just want to go ahead and install it. Then the airbag should just snap in place. Make sure it's secure on both sides. So after you get the airbag installed, you want to reinstall the battery. Now you want to reinstall the cabin air filter. And you want to install the heat shield for the battery. And now let's go test the buttons to see if they work. Okay guys, so 2 weeks after installing the buttons, I've been messing with the programming of the ECU. I got this programmer from Amazon. That's the name of it. But long story short is, this system is not plug and play. You do have to program the ECU to recognize that the buttons are here now. But let's go ahead and cut the car on. Long story short is, guys, I got the buttons to turn on, and I also got the screens to change when you click the screen, but the knobs don't work. And the only button I got to work on this side was the wing. So the wing goes up and down when you hold it. And even when you go to it on this screen, the wing goes up and down when you hold it. It's controlling the wing at the back of the car. So long story short is, guys, the buttons are installed. The knob isn't working, and different features other than the wing aren't working. Like, I can't control the suspension. I can't turn traction control off. So what I've decided is the programming is very in-depth. It took me 2 weeks to get to this point to where it is. So I just decided, you know, it's not worth my time anymore. I just decided to pay to get it done. I would definitely say, guys, this is out of a scale from 1 to 10. This installation is about an 8. Installing the buttons onto the steering wheel is a 4. But installing the programming into the ECU is about an 8. So unless you are proficient with mechanics and very good with cars and electronics, because you do have to solder wires, you do have to cut wires and rewire them, I wouldn't suggest you do this. I would suggest you go to a shop and get it done professionally. Because either way, even after you put the buttons on, they're still not going to work, even after you install them properly. So just go to a shop, get it done. If you feel like you can follow the steps I gave you, then please feel free to do so at your own risk. Just to make this clear, guys, this video is not a tutorial. This is for entertainment purposes only. I'm not responsible for any damage that's done to your car, guys. These cars are very expensive and everything is very costly. That's why I decided to stop programming the buttons, because I realized, you know, it's really not worth it. I'm tampering with things, and if it was just a simple on and off, then I would say do it, but you really have to program each screen to do different things. So just go ahead and get a shop to do it for you. And another thing, guys, a lot of the programming for your ECU is in German. So you have to translate German to English to get it to work. So that's something else you need to consider before you start trying to program. But I'm still glad I bought this programmer, because it does so many things that I need later down the line. So this was still a good purchase. If you guys want me to do a review on this also, just leave it in the comment section. So I am using RJ Automotive, located in the UK, to do my programming. I'm waiting for them to ship me the wireless OBD scanner that they're gonna remote scan my car. And yeah, guys, I appreciate you guys hanging with me to this point of the video. It looks like it was all one day, but this has been a long process to get to this point. And yeah, thank you for watching. Definitely like, comment, and subscribe. Until next time.